Hey everybody, I wanted to change things up this week and send a vlog to talk about my Genius Hour project. So I am focusing on some crafts of the past is how I consider them. Thinking about things that my grandmother did and that unfortunately she's not able to pass on to me, but are very near and dear to my heart. So I set out to spend some time to learn about cross stitch, crocheting, and knitting. And the hardest thing that I have found this so far is time. Setting aside time to be able to complete these tasks or to try to work on these tasks. And they're not easy. I've had to try multiple techniques, watch lots of videos, find books to try to help. So I've narrowed it down to two. Crocheting, I cannot do. I don't know why, but my hands and my brain do not connect somehow. Oddly enough, my husband and my stepson Elijah are very proficient at it. And today we spent most of the day working on crafts. So I will share some pictures along with this video so that you can see what took place. It was amazing to see my husband pick it up and start doing it, and he's working on a scarf for me. I win either way because they're both crocheting scarves for me. And then my stepson was able to teach his dad how to do this and how to create something. And so it was really a neat way to connect our family together. I did work on my cross stitch. So here's where I'm at. It's starting to kind of look like something. It's not exactly what it is supposed to be. You would never know that that's going to end up being a bicycle, but I've made significant progress from where I was last week. I've learned that the tighter your fabric, the easier it is to do. I also learned that you're supposed to use two pieces of thread and not one, so you can see the difference in the definitions from where I used one piece and two. But I was so far into it, there was no going back. So I was not about to try to cut all of that out and start over. So I can't crochet, but today I figured out how to knit, and I'm very excited that I kept up with it. And I was able to figure out how to knit. And so using my funny video that I posted last time, I actually used the video he tried to use to learn to knit and a booklet that came with a starter kit for knitting. And so I'm using size 8 bamboo knitting needles because it's a lot easier to grip the yarn. And so I figured out that this is just how I do it. So I'm going to show you really quick. And then we really enjoyed our time this week learning how to do these things. And so I'm really excited that we will hopefully keep up with them. So I have my needles in my hand, and then you go through a loop. And then you take your right hand and you cross it over the one in the back. And it creates like two holes. I know that's hard to see. And then this one goes down, and then this loop comes off, and then there is the first chain in my next row. And so I just keep kind of working it and praying that my loops don't slip off my needles, because if they do, I'm in trouble because I haven't mastered that step yet. So there's the start of my next row. This project so far has taught me that as teachers, we expect students to just be proficient immediately. And a lot of the times we're so driven with standards and scope and sequence that we don't really work in time for students to be able to try and fail and have to start over and look for different techniques and different books and different videos so that they can learn and understand the content in which we're teaching. Had I solely based knitting off of crocheting and never had tried it, I would have never figured out that I could do this. I can't crochet. I've tried, I don't get it, it doesn't work. And at first I wasn't even going to try this because I figured it was the same. So because it's with stick and yarn, I classified it together, and I just said I can't do that. And so I can see parallels in education where maybe if a student thinks, oh, I can't do geometry, so therefore I'm bad at math. They're not bad at math. They just maybe can't figure out geometry, but maybe they're going to be awesome at advanced calculus or algebra. So I think as teachers, we need to also be very cognizant of how we classify students. Just because they all might seem like sticks and the same yarn and come from the same cloth, they're all very different and they're very unique, and we need to make sure that we find as many opportunities as we can to reach those students so that they can be successful. So that's my vlog for this week. I hope you'd enjoyed it. Make sure you check out the pictures because they're pretty cool. I'm happy that this project has created multiple opportunities for me to pass on something that my grandmother loved to me and to my family. So I'll see you next week. Thank you.